From the very moment the first sheet of aluminum touched the hands of the assembly line, a quiet tension filled the massive hangar because every worker, engineer, and supervisor knew the impossible task ahead. Assembling the monstrous wings of the B-17 Flying Fortress, a feat that normally required 20 grueling hours of precise, painstaking labor. Hours during which a single misaligned rivet could ruin a panel or compromise the safety of men and planes in the skies. And the suspense escalates as the camera sweeps across the hangar, capturing the rhythmic hammering of rivets, the hiss of pneumatic guns, the glint of metal under harsh industrial lights. Each worker moving in a synchronized dance that teetered between chaos and perfection. Yet one riveter, an unassuming figure in the vast assembly line, developed a pattern so audacious, so meticulously calculated, that it defied the logic of the engineers who had built their careers on conventional methods. And as the narrator draws viewers into the tension, we see her hands move with unrelenting precision, striking each rivet at angles and sequences that no one thought possible, her eyes scanning blueprints that seemed incomprehensible to others, while supervisors paused mid-step to watch, disbelief etched on their faces, as wing panels that usually took hours to align snap into place with startling speed, and the suspense deepens when the camera follows the path of each rivet. Each connecting point, showing the complex geometry of the structure, the exact sequence that prevents warping, the precise pressure that ensures integrity under extreme aerial stress, and yet the method looks almost deceptively simple, as if the riveter is performing a ballet with steel, rivets, and pneumatic hammers. A choreography that compresses time, energy, and labor into an elegant, lethal efficiency. And the narrator emphasizes that in that moment, the very fabric of aviation assembly is being rewritten, because what once took 20 grueling hours of meticulous effort is now completed in just 2. Not by machines, not by hundreds of hands, but by one mind daring to challenge decades of entrenched methods. And as the camera pans across rows of nearly finished wings, gleaming and perfectly aligned, the viewer feels the weight of this breakthrough, the suspense of innovation, the quiet awe of a process that promises to change the outcome of the air war. Because each wing produced at this incredible speed directly translates into planes in the sky faster than ever imagined. Bombs delivered, missions flown, pilots and crews surviving by the very grace of human ingenuity. And the tension builds further as the narrator notes that the riveter's pattern is more than a time-saving trick. It is a testament to the audacity, creativity, and relentless precision that fuels victory. And as supervisors measure, engineers inspect, and assembly lines roar with renewed vigor, the audience senses the birth of a legend. A single breakthrough that turns the impossible into the achievable, and Point One surges toward its next layer of revelation, promising deeper insight into how one woman's ingenuity reshaped the production of America's deadliest bombers, leaving viewers riveted, breathless, and unable to look away. As the hangar hummed with the relentless rhythm of pneumatic hammers and the metallic scent of heated aluminum filled the air, the riveter's hands never wavered, moving faster than the eye could follow, striking each rivet with a precision that made seasoned supervisors hold their breath, because every motion carried consequences of life and death. Every panel misaligned could ground a bomber, jeopardize a mission, or cost the lives of airmen thousands of miles away. And the suspense builds as the camera zooms in on the complex skeleton of a B-17 wing, exposing a labyrinth of ribs, spars, and stringers that normally required an army of riveters hours of meticulous coordination to assemble. Yet here, under the deft fingers of one individual, the chaotic symphony of assembly became a smooth, accelerated ballet of metal and motion, each rivet falling into place like a note in a perfectly composed score. And the narrator pulls viewers into the tension as engineers murmur in disbelief, unable to reconcile the speed with the structural integrity they had spent decades perfecting, noting how the unique sequence distributes stress evenly, prevents warping, and maintains exact aerodynamic tolerances that are critical for high-altitude bombing runs. While cameras track the flow of rivets across the wing like a river of molten silver shimmering under industrial lights, emphasizing that this is not mere speed but a revolution in workflow, a defiance of everything they thought possible, And the suspense heightens when the narrator describes the ripple effect across the entire plant. As the new method is tested, documented, and replicated, cutting assembly times dramatically, increasing output, and ultimately ensuring that more bombers reach the skies faster than enemy planners could anticipate. While the camera pans across the faces of assembly line workers, some skeptical, some awestruck, some inspired, watching the impossible unfold in real time, and the narrator underscores that this breakthrough is not just about efficiency, but survival. Because in the crucible of war, every hour saved on the assembly line translates into more planes over Europe. More missions completed, more crews surviving. And as the Riveter continues, the suspense escalates further with an almost cinematic tension. The wings, gleaming and complete in record time, are hoisted for inspection. Each panel flawless, each rivet exact, yet the pace shows no compromise in quality. And engineers double-check measurements, strain gauges, and tolerances with astonishment, realizing that a single human mind has redefined the limits of industrial production, turning what was once a painstaking 20-hour process into a 2-hour marvel. And the camera pulls back to reveal the enormous hangar now alive with the energy of unstoppable momentum, the metallic roar of production echoing like a drumbeat of victory, while the narrator drives home the suspenseful truth that this impossible pattern will not only save time and lives, but will become a legend of ingenuity. A moment when human creativity defied conventional expectations and changed the course of history, leaving viewers breathless, awestruck, and utterly captivated by the relentless power of precision, innovation, and audacious skill. And Point 1 surges toward its next phase, promising even deeper revelations about the ripple effects of this revolutionary assembly breakthrough on the B-17 program, the air war, and the ultimate fate of thousands of missions and crews relying on every wing produced with uncanny speed and perfection. As the Riveter's pattern rippled across the assembly line, transforming chaos into orchestral precision, the impact became immediately tangible, because where once a single wing panel demanded hours of coordination, countless hands, and near-constant oversight, now multiple panels were completed in parallel, moving from station to station with a speed that made veteran engineers and line supervisors alike question the laws of physics and human endurance. And the suspense intensifies as the camera captures rivets flying into place, each strike punctuated by the hiss of compressed air, the metallic ping of aluminum meeting steel, and the rhythmic hum of conveyor systems propelling partially completed wings forward with clockwork reliability. While the narrator guides viewers through the exact mechanics of the process, the rivet sequence distributes tension in a previously unimagined pattern, eliminating stress points, preserving aerodynamic integrity, and allowing each wing to endure the rigors of high-altitude, long-range bombing missions without compromise. And the tension grows as we cut to engineers consulting blueprints, marking each step with feverish annotations, realizing that every adjustment, every angle, every microsecond of rivet placement is critical, and yet the Riveter executes it instinctively, with a deftness born of intuition, experience, and fearless innovation. And the suspense mounts as the narrator explains the cascading effect on production quotas. With 20-hour assembly cycles compressed to just 2, the factory suddenly churns out planes at a rate previously considered impossible. Stockpiles of completed wings accumulate faster than mechanics can inspect them, and the airfield logistics scramble to keep pace with a program transformed overnight. While the camera pans across awestruck line workers, watching an entire generation of labor standards and industrial assumptions rewritten in real time by a single human mind, and the narrative tension escalates further as the audience is guided into the psychological impact of this breakthrough. The Riveter's pattern not only shatters production records, it inspires an ethos of possibility, courage, and ingenuity among the workforce, as men and women realize that human skill, combined with audacious creativity, can redefine the boundaries of war production, saving not only time, but potentially the lives of thousands of airmen relying on these bombers to reach their targets and return home. And the suspense deepens with a sweeping overview of the massive hangar alive with coordinated motion. Cranes lifting completed wings, panels sliding into fuselages, rivets locking assemblies together in a choreography of metal, muscle, and ingenuity. While the narrator emphasizes that this is not merely efficiency, it is a tactical advantage, a strategic acceleration of the air war effort, and a decisive factor in the ability of the U.S. Army Air Forces to sustain relentless bombing campaigns against heavily defended targets. And as the camera lingers on the riveter's hands, moving faster than the eye can track, striking rivets in a sequence that no diagram could fully convey, the audience feels the suspense of human ingenuity, the awe of industrial mastery, and the quiet, powerful drama of one individual's mind rewriting the rules of production, proving that audacity, precision, and innovation can triumph over seemingly impossible constraints. And Point One surges ever closer to its full revelation, leaving viewers captivated, breathless, and gripping the edge of their seats as the story of the impossible pattern continues to unfold, promising even greater revelations of speed, skill, and the monumental impact on the B-17 program and the air war that relied upon it. As the days passed, the ripple effect of the riveter's pattern grew exponentially, because what had begun as a single audacious method now reshaped the workflow of an entire production facility, with assembly lines humming at unprecedented speed, each worker adjusting to the rhythm of the 2-hour wing assembly, supervisors scrambling to adapt schedules, and engineers recalculating tolerances and quality checks to keep pace with a process that seemed to defy the very principles of industrial engineering. And the suspense intensifies as the narrator draws viewers through the intricacies of the technique, how each rivet placement interacts with the structural stresses of the wing, how subtle variations in angle and pressure can dramatically improve durability, and how the riveter's sequence ingeniously balances speed and strength, ensuring that each wing could endure bombing missions over Europe, where enemy flak, turbulence, and high-altitude pressure would otherwise compromise weaker assemblies. While the camera sweeps across workers' faces, some skeptical, some exhilarated, some in awe, watching the impossible become reality, as cranes move completed panels with breathtaking efficiency, and partially assembled wings glide across tracks with a cadence orchestrated by the riveter's genius. And the suspense escalates further as the narrator emphasizes the human cost and stakes behind every panel, every rivet, because each wing produced faster translates into more planes in the air, more missions flown, more pilots surviving, and more pressure on enemy defenses. While military planners begin to understand the strategic advantage of rapid assembly, the camera zooming over aerial stockpiles of completed wings, fuselages waiting to be mated, and logistics personnel coordinating transport and assembly with precision, highlighting that this breakthrough is as much about operational dominance as it is about industrial marvel. And tension mounts as inspectors meticulously verify that speed has not compromised safety, noting with astonishment that every wing meets or exceeds tolerances that were previously considered the absolute maximum achievable. While the narrator underscores the drama of human innovation, the riveter's audacity and precision has effectively rewritten the rules of production, demonstrating that one mind, one carefully honed pattern, and the courage to defy convention can reshape the very machinery of war. And as the camera captures the glint of aluminum under industrial lights, the hiss of pneumatic riveters, and the rhythmic pounding of metal into place, the viewer is drawn into the suspenseful realization that the seemingly impossible, cutting 20-hour assembly cycles to 2, has been achieved. Not through automation, not through mass replacement, but through one individual's ingenuity and relentless skill, transforming the production of the B-17 from a slow, laborious process into a breathtaking spectacle of efficiency, precision, and deadly potential. And Point One surges forward with tension building toward even greater revelations, promising to uncover the full magnitude of the impact on aircraft production, air power, and the ultimate fate of missions and crews relying on these revolutionary wings, leaving viewers riveted, breathless, and utterly captivated by the ingenuity that defied the impossible. The pace of production accelerated like a thunderstorm, with wings gliding from station to station in a blur of motion. And yet every rivet struck, every panel aligned, carried the weight of precision, for a single misstep could cascade into catastrophic failure thousands of miles away over enemy territory. And the suspense builds as the narrator guides viewers through the meticulous coordination between workers, engineers, and supervisors, each adjusting instinctively to the rhythm set by the riveter's audacious sequence, while inspectors follow the panels with clipboards and micrometers, verifying structural integrity with an intensity that mirrors the tension on the factory floor. And the camera captures close-ups of riveters' hands moving in rapid, hypnotic motion, pneumatic guns firing with a relentless cadence, aluminum panels vibrating as each rivet locks into place. While the audience feels the heartbeat of innovation pulsing through the massive hangar, the metallic clangs and hisses forming a symphony of human ingenuity and industrial might. And the suspense intensifies further as the narrator details how this impossible pattern allows for multiple wings to be assembled in parallel, staggering workloads that once bottlenecked production and transforming them into a continuous, unstoppable flow of completed assemblies while cranes and hoists glide overhead, carrying massive sections with smooth precision. And the sheer scale of efficiency begins to overwhelm the senses, emphasizing that this is not merely a speed improvement, it is a revolution in workflow, one that directly influences the outcome of the air war. Because more wings produced faster means more B-17s in the air, more bombing missions completed, and more crews surviving grueling operations over heavily defended targets. And the suspense peaks as the camera pans across supervisors' astonished faces, engineers scribbling notes frantically to capture every nuance of the riveter's method, and workers exchanging awestruck glances as they realize that they are witnessing the rewriting of production history in real time. While the narrator underscores that the innovation is deceptively simple in appearance, yet staggeringly complex in impact, with every angle, every pressure point, every sequence carefully orchestrated to maximize strength, speed, and durability. And the tension tightens as we glimpse stockpiles of finished wings, gleaming under the hangar lights, ready for installation on fuselages, each representing hours saved, lives protected, and missions made possible. And the audience begins to sense the full magnitude of the breakthrough. A single riveter, with audacity, skill, and precision, has transformed what was once a 20-hour ordeal into a 2-hour marvel, challenging assumptions, inspiring ingenuity, and creating a legacy that will ripple across the production of B-17s, the air war, and the very course of history, leaving viewers breathless, mesmerized, and hanging on every detail as Point 1 continues its relentless buildup toward total revelation, promising even greater insights into the staggering efficiency, creativity, and life-saving impact of this revolutionary pattern. As the assembly line roared with mechanical precision and human determination, the riveter's impossible pattern revealed its genius in ways that transcended mere speed. Because each rivet placement, each sequence of strikes, orchestrated a balance between structural integrity and rapid construction, transforming the enormous, complex wings of the B-17 into works of both engineering brilliance and operational necessity. And the suspense intensifies as the narrator draws viewers into the microscopic details of the method, the precise angle of each rivet, the subtle sequencing that distributes tension evenly across ribs and spars, the coordination with pneumatic riveters and manual tools, and the choreography required to maintain absolute accuracy at unprecedented speed. While the camera captures the relentless motion of workers, their eyes fixed, hands moving almost instinctively, pneumatic guns firing in a hypnotic rhythm, aluminum panels resonating with each strike, as if the metal itself is alive with the pulse of ingenuity. And the tension rises further as inspectors and engineers verify every measurement, every tolerance, and every rivet, their astonishment growing with the realization that nothing has been sacrificed in speed. The wings remain stronger, more durable and precisely aligned, ready to endure the punishing conditions of high-altitude bombing runs, flak-laden skies, and extended missions over enemy territory. While the audience begins to grasp the strategic magnitude of the breakthrough, each hour saved on the assembly line directly translates to more bombers in the air, more missions flown, more targets reached, and more crews brought home safely. And the suspense builds with the sweeping visual of multiple wings, moving in perfect synchrony across the factory. Cranes lifting, panels sliding, workers moving as a single synchronized organism. With the riveter's pattern at the center, a heartbeat that sets the rhythm for an entire production ecosystem. And the narrator emphasizes the psychological impact as, well, noting how the breakthrough inspires the workforce, challenges entrenched assumptions, and demonstrates that innovation, courage, and skill can redefine what is possible even in the most regimented industrial environment. While the camera captures close-ups of riveter hands striking in rapid succession, sparks flying, metal vibrating, eyes fixed with unwavering focus, each movement echoing with the suspense of human achievement and the quiet drama of life-saving ingenuity. And as the story expands, the audience begins to sense the cascading effects of this single breakthrough. From increased production rates to accelerated deployment of B-17s, reshaping the logistics of war, shortening mission preparation times, and amplifying the overall effectiveness of the air campaign, leaving viewers breathless, captivated, and hanging on every meticulously described detail as Point 1 continues to unfold with relentless cinematic intensity, promising even more revelations of speed, skill, and the profound impact of the riveter's revolutionary pattern on history itself. As the days unfolded, the reverberations of the riveter's audacious pattern reshaped every corner of the factory, because what began as a singular, seemingly impossible innovation now dictated the tempo of an entire production ecosystem. With wing panels gliding smoothly along tracks, pneumatic riveters firing in perfect cadence, and human hands moving in orchestrated harmony with machinery, and the suspense intensifies as the narrator guides viewers into the meticulous interplay of human skill, mechanical precision, and sheer ingenuity, explaining how the sequence of rivets ensures optimal load distribution across spars, ribs, and stringers, preventing stress fractures and warping even under the most punishing conditions. While cameras capture workers' faces, some tense, some awestruck, some exhilarated, watching their labor transformed into a spectacle of breathtaking efficiency, and the tension rises further as inspectors meticulously measure every panel, using micrometers, gauges, and templates to verify tolerances, discovering in astonishment that the wings not only meet rigorous specifications but exceed them, demonstrating that speed has not come at the expense of structural integrity, and the suspense builds as the camera sweeps across the enormous hangar, showing rows of completed panels stacked and ready, cranes and hoists moving them with precision, supervisors adjusting schedules in real time to maintain the relentless pace set by the riveter's innovation, and the narrator emphasizes the strategic significance. Every wing completed in 2 hours instead of 20 translates directly into more planes in the air, more bombing sorties launched, and more pilots relying on the ingenuity of one human mind to survive the perils of war. While the audience is drawn into the hypnotic rhythm of rivets striking aluminum, pneumatic hammers vibrating through metal and muscle, sparks flying, and the gleam of polished wings reflecting the brilliance of human innovation, and the suspense heightens as the narrator details how the breakthrough inspires confidence, audacity, and collaboration throughout the workforce, creating a feedback loop where speed fuels precision, precision fuels confidence, and confidence drives production to levels previously thought unattainable. While the camera captures slow-motion shots of rivets landing in perfect alignment, panels sliding into place, and workers exchanging glances of disbelief and admiration, and the tension crescendos as the narrator underscores the broader impact. The riveter's pattern doesn't just save hours on an assembly line, it accelerates the deployment of B-17s, enhances mission readiness, strengthens the air campaign over Europe, and saves countless lives by ensuring planes reach the skies faster and stronger than ever before, leaving viewers completely absorbed, on the edge of their seats, as they grasp the true magnitude of a single human mind's audacity, skill, and revolutionary impact on aviation history. While Point 1 continues its relentless march toward full cinematic, suspense-filled revelation, promising even greater insights, drama, and awe-inspiring consequences of the impossible pattern that turned 20-hour assembly into 2-hour marvels. The rhythm of the hangar intensified as the riveter's technique became the heartbeat of production, because each motion, Each strike of a rivet, each alignment of a panel, each calibration of a tool was synchronized into a sequence that blurred the line between human dexterity and mechanical efficiency. And the suspense rises as the narrator explains how this impossible pattern balances speed with structural integrity, allowing wings to endure the punishing conditions of high-altitude flight while compressing hours of labor into mere minutes, while the camera glides across the assembly floor, capturing rivets flying like sparks from a forge, panels sliding smoothly into place, and the gleaming aluminum reflecting the harsh lights of the massive hangar. The audience sensing the monumental scale of human ingenuity at work, and the tension deepens as supervisors, engineers, and line workers collectively realize that they are witnessing the rewriting of industrial history in real time, where conventional methods, painstaking hours, and rigid protocols are replaced by a dynamic, almost artistic choreography of skill, precision, and timing. And the narrator emphasizes that the implications extend far beyond the factory floor. Every 2-hour wing represents planes in the sky, bombs delivered with devastating effect, pilots relying on flawless construction for survival, and a strategic advantage in the theater of war. While slow-motion shots of rivets embedding into spars, workers-focused expressions, and the synchronized motion of cranes and hoists convey the hypnotic, almost cinematic spectacle of human innovation manifest. And the suspense escalates further as the narrator highlights the cascading operational impact. Faster assembly enables more sorties, accelerated deployments, and the ability to maintain relentless pressure on enemy targets. While the audience watches in awe as engineers calculate tolerances, inspectors verify precision, and line workers move with a fluidity previously thought impossible, all synchronized to the rhythm set by a single riveter's audacious pattern. And the tension becomes almost tangible as the narrator reminds viewers that what appears deceptively simple is, in reality, a complex orchestration of engineering genius, human skill, and practical ingenuity. A solution that compresses 20 hours of work into 2 without sacrificing strength, safety, or durability, leaving the audience captivated, breathless, and hanging on every metallic strike, every gleaming panel, and every human movement as the story unfolds, and as Point 1 surges forward. The camera pans across the hangar's enormous scale. Cranes lifting completed wings, workers moving in coordinated steps, and supervisors frantically adjusting schedules to maintain the unprecedented pace, emphasizing that this is more than a production breakthrough. It is a tactical, psychological, and historical marvel that transforms the B-17 program, inspires generations of workers, and reshapes the very boundaries of what is possible in industrial aviation, leaving viewers riveted, completely absorbed, and eagerly anticipating the next revelation in this cinematic saga of speed, skill, and audacious ingenuity. As the riveter sequence became the lifeblood of the assembly line, the hangar itself seemed to pulse with energy because every panel, every rivet, and every movement resonated with the audacity of human ingenuity, and the suspense deepens as the narrator takes viewers inside the microscopic intricacies of the method, the precise timing of each rivet, the exact angle of each strike, the way pressure is distributed to prevent warping under stress, and how this pattern allows multiple wings to be assembled simultaneously without loss of quality or precision, while the camera sweeps across the assembly floor, capturing a hypnotic choreography of humans and machines in perfect synchrony, rivets flying in rapid succession, panels sliding along tracks, pneumatic hammers vibrating through aluminum, and workers' eyes fixed in unwavering focus, the audience feeling the tension and exhilaration of this revolutionary process. And the suspense rises as engineers and supervisors watch in disbelief, checking measurements, recalculating tolerances, and realizing that the impossible has been made real, because the wings meet the highest standards of durability and precision despite being assembled in a fraction of the traditional time. And the narrator emphasizes the stakes. Each 2-hour wing represents a bomber in the sky, a mission accomplished, a crew relying on flawless construction to survive, and a strategic advantage over enemy forces, while the camera pans across stockpiles of completed wings, gleaming under the industrial lights, cranes moving massive sections with fluid precision, and workers exchanging awed glances, knowing they are witnessing the rewriting of aviation production history in real time, and the suspense intensifies further as the narrator explains the ripple effect. The acceleration of wing assembly transforms the entire production ecosystem, compresses timelines, enables more sorties, enhances mission readiness, and increases the overall effectiveness of the air campaign. While slow-motion shots of rivets embedding perfectly into spars, panels aligning with flawless precision, and workers moving like synchronized dancers reinforce the cinematic spectacle of human ingenuity in motion, and the tension becomes almost tangible as the narrator reminds viewers that the riveter's method is deceptively simple yet staggeringly complex, requiring flawless execution, incredible focus, and an understanding of materials and aerodynamics that defied conventional thinking, leaving audiences captivated, breathless, and hanging on every detail, riveted by the story of how a single, impossible pattern transformed 20 hours of labor into 2, saving time, lives, and reshaping the very course of the B-17 program, while Point 1 continues to build momentum, promising deeper revelations, greater suspense, and even more awe-inspiring insights into the genius, skill, and audacity that turned an ordinary hangar into a crucible of innovation and history-making efficiency. And as the last rivets fell into place, the hangar seemed to exhale, a collective breath of disbelief, awe, and triumph, because the impossible pattern had achieved what no blueprint, supervisor, or engineer had dared to imagine. Entire B-17 wings, complex, enormous, and critical to the survival of both aircraft and crew, now assembled in 2 hours instead of 20, flawlessly, perfectly, and ready for the skies. And the suspense reaches its zenith as the narrator guides viewers through the human drama behind the feat. The riveter, sweat glistening on her brow, hands moving with unerring precision, eyes scanning each panel. The culmination of years of experience, courage, and ingenuity converging in a moment that would change aviation history. While the camera pans across the hangar filled with gleaming wings, cranes moving them with mechanical grace, workers frozen in admiration and disbelief, and supervisors checking measurements, jaws clenched, realizing that a single human mind had rewritten the rules of production, challenged the very limits of industrial capability, and created a ripple effect that would accelerate missions, increase bomber deployment, save countless lives, and give the U.S. Army Air Forces an edge over enemies who could not yet fathom the scale of this innovation. And the suspense tightens as the narrator underscores the broader significance. This was not just a breakthrough in efficiency. It was a testament to audacity, precision, creativity, and relentless determination. A story of one individual transforming the impossible into reality, inspiring everyone on the line, and reshaping the future of air warfare. While slow-motion shots highlight rivets embedding, panels locking into perfect alignment, sparks flying, and aluminum gleaming under industrial lights, conveying the almost cinematic spectacle of human genius at work. And the tension finally resolves as the narrator drives home the ultimate revelation. Every 2-hour wing is more than metal and rivets. It is a lifeline, a mission enabled, a pilot and crew protected, a strategic advantage in the sky, and the audience is left breathless, riveted, and in awe of the sheer audacity, skill, and revolutionary impact of a single riveter's impossible pattern, a moment in history when speed, precision, ingenuity, and courage converged to turn 20 hours of grueling labor into 2 hours of breathtaking triumph, forever changing the course of B-17 production and leaving a legacy of human innovation that will echo through aviation history, inspiring generations, and sealing Point 1 as a cinematic, suspense-filled testament to the power of one mind to redefine what is possible.